Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mouth of the Tyne. Today we've got a bit of a new show for you, injury update. I'm going to start doing these when we get certain injuries to certain players, key injuries that we think we need covering and a little bit more information on. So yeah, we're going to start with our main man, Bruno Guimaraes. It appears that he has returned back home to Newcastle, and it's looking touch and go whether he's going to be fit for Fulham. It's been well documented that he obviously just returned from a thigh injury or a hamstring injury, last time out when we played in the Premier League. He only lasted 70 minutes, and then he's been away on international duty, hoping to make a start in the games against Ghana and Tunisia too. However, it looks from this picture, which I'm about to show you, that Bruno G is now back in the tune. He's currently working on his fitness in the gym back at Benton. It's, we don't know the severity of this thigh injury. All we can do is hope that it's not going to be serious. He's obviously opted out of the second game to come back to the tune, work on his fitness for the whole week, which is kind of good news. It shows that, obviously, he's putting the club before country. He's not going to try and push himself too much to play for Brazil when he's obviously carrying a slight injury. Craig Hope this morning still reckons, as he said a few days ago, that it's not serious, and he's still in contention for the weekend's game against Fulham. Obviously, he's just doing gym work today, so we're not sure how it's affecting his movement on the grass or in training with the rest of the guys. But it's a big thing, and to have Bruno out for I think he missed about a month with the injury that he picked up against in the cup that we played recently. It's not looking something that we want to risk going forward. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he is going to be fit, and we can have him in the side against Fulham. The news is made all the more concerning by the fact that Isak has also been injured on international duty. Not quite sure of the severity of his injury yet, but as things stand, we've had Bruno, Wood, and Isak all injured this week to some severity. We're not quite sure yet till they get back to the club and when our doctors can assess them. It's a worry, It seems like injuries have just been piling up for us this season. There is no kind of easy, fix for this. It's something that, obviously it's been happening. Is it because of the intensity of the training? Is it just, the stop-start of the season? We've had a few little breaks already for international break. Obviously, the Queen's funeral affected things and things like that. So, we've had a very stop-start, beginning of the season. It can't help players. But obviously, we know that the classic line is we train how we play, and we know how we play with this intensity. So if we're training in the same way, are these players up to that standard of training from Eddie? I wouldn't say scrap it and change it and, try a different training method. Our fitness is up there and the high press is working. The stats have shown that we're the best high pressing team in the Premier League. So we don't want to tweak things too much. But I think there has to be an element of caution here now with the amount of injuries we're getting, especially muscle injuries. There's definitely something there going on. Not quite sure, the ins and outs of it, but it is a factor. So yeah, it was just going to be a quick video today. We really need Bruno fit and firing to, get us our next win of the season. We'll have a win since the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest. Bruno's obviously an integral part of this team. We saw him at Disneyland yesterday, so he's obviously been fitting well enough to walk about, and the club haven't been too concerned about getting him back to Benton immediately. He still had a couple of days with his pals in Paris, Disneyland. So judging off that and the comments from Craig Hope, not too concerned about the severity of their injury. It was a thigh muscle tweak, or edema, as Ben Dinnery said on Twitter. That's not such a serious injury. It's obviously something that they're going to have to keep an eye on. Muscle injuries you don't want to aggravate, so if there's any kind of doubt, we probably won't see him at the weekend. But it does bode well for us that he was walking around Disneyland. He's now back at Benton in the gym. It doesn't look like it's going to be a long layoff. Hopefully it was just a knock. maybe a tweak or something like that. And it's not, really big injury like a pull or a tear to the thigh, which it doesn't appear to be. So let's be glass half full at this minute, and hope that he is fit for Saturday. He's, like I say, it makes things a lot harder when Bruno and Shelvey are out. We've talked about this on the podcast previously. Shelvey's almost back to full fitness. We've seen him training on the grass just before the international break started. So, it's something that if we can get Shelvey fit, and get him back in the team, then it's not so much of a concern when Bruno misses these games. As it stands, when Bruno and both Shelvey are out, you've got Longstaff starting, and we all know the issues that can cause with the lack of pace, lack of awareness. He's not the level as Bruno, and he's not the level of Shelvey. So this is something what we really need to, sort out. Get these midfielders back firing like they were last season when we had a midfield trio of Bruno, Shelvey, Joe Linton. That is up there with some of the best midfields in the Premier League. Even pushing the top six. It's kind of up, for me, it's kind of up there. You've got Bruno, world class. You've got Joe Linton, who's really, really informed in 2022, and Shelvey, who's a Premier League kind of stalwart. He's played in the Premier League all of his career. We need him back. We need him firing. Same as Bruno. Let's see if we can get these guys all on the pitch at the same time and get some results like we did at the back end of last season when we went on this big unbeaten run and we had everyone fit and firing. Because at the minute the season hasn't really started for us. We're like 7 or 8 games in. We've got 1 win. We've only lost once, which obviously that's glass half full to look at it like that. But we need this extra quality. On a brighter note, it does appear that ASM and Wilson are back. ASM was posting videos of him dancing around last night, working on his new celebration. That suggests that, he's not far away. If he's going to be, flamboyant enough to post these dancing celebration videos, it would suggest that, he's very close to full fitness. Wilson also has been on record on his podcast saying he hopes to be back starting against Fulham. So, the swings and roundabouts here. We've got a couple of players carrying knocks, a couple of players that look like the fit and firing, which I'm sure the training videos and training photos from this week will give us a better update of where we are. They usually come out on Wednesday, maybe slightly later this week with international duty. Could be Thursday, could be Friday, but it does look like we have got a couple of knocks. We're just waiting of the severity of them. But as things stand, hopefully not too concerned about Bruno. He was at Disneyland yesterday. Craig Hope says it's not serious. He's back in the gym today. So there's 3 pointers where we're pointing towards Bruno being fit for the weekend. I'm not too concerned at the minute. So we'll leave it there for now, guys. It was just a little quick update on the injuries as to where we are, because we have had so many this season so far and a few more in the international break. It only felt right to do a short video as players are starting to return to Benton. Hopefully get treatment if they're not serious. And I guess we'll find out how long they're going to be out for this week. So thanks for joining us, guys. Try and bring you a few more live with shows this week. Working on a couple of guests still. And obviously we'll bring you all the action in the full time whistle from the Fulham game at the weekend. So stay tuned. Still working hard on the channel and trying to bring you guys the content, NUFC content that you crave. So thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate you. I've been Ben from Mouth of the Tyne. All the best.